Leave it to Islam to send a nation into a violent uproar during a pandemic. In Islam's defense, it is Ramadan, so what were you expecting? The New Arab reports, Tunisian authorities have arrested a young woman for publishing fake verses of the Quran about the novel coronavirus. Amna al-Sharqi will be investigated by the Tunisian public prosecution, al-Bashir reported, for posting a text on her Facebook page entitled Surah Corona. Al-Sharqi sparked outrage on social media for the fake verses and even received death threats. I'm afraid the death threats are just getting started. She needs to get out of Tunisia now. Tunisian public opinion was reportedly divided, with a majority demanding al-Sharqi be tried for the desecration of the Quran, according to al-Bashir. A minority of Tunisians voiced the opinion that her act falls under freedom of expression. Only a minority? Shocker. Al-Sharqi confirmed that she had received death threats for writing the text. She said on Facebook that what she had published was not a distortion of the Quran, stressing that it did not include the word God or religion. The Quran is considered by Muslims to be the word of God, and any revision or addition to the text is considered sacrilegious by most followers. Well, Muslims, if you think that any revision of your book is sacrilegious, do not, under any circumstances, read about the history of the Quran. It's been revised over and over again by Muslim leaders. But Muslim leaders never bother to tell you that, do they? Strange. Let's check out the offending verses. From the ex-Muslim, Algerian and Tunisian freethinkers under threat for ridiculing Quran. A series of verses mimicking the style of the Quran, titled Surah, chapter, Corona, have lit Arab social media on fire. The verses were written by an Algerian atheist, Jalou, and shared widely, angering many conservative Muslims who have issued death threats and calls for arrest of those involved. We have been told Jalou's Facebook profile has been suspended due to mass reporting by those Muslims angered by the surah. So, Surah Corona was written by Algerian atheist Jalou. Amna al-Sharqi simply shared the verses and was arrested for it. Here's the surah. Surah Corona. COVID. By the eradicating virus. But they were surprised that it came to them from China far away. So the infidels, Kafirun, said it was a stubborn disease. No, rather, it is certain death. There is no difference today between the kings and slaves. So hold on to science and abandon traditions, and don't go out to buy wheat. And stay home, for it is a strong scourge. And wash your hands with new soap. Almighty Jalou has provided this truth. Now, if you read the Quran, you know that this sounds exactly like a chapter of the Quran. Stop lying, David. The Quran only works in Arabic. Come on. You can read anything in that silly Quran recitation voice. COVID by the eradicating virus. Wow, I guess it does sound like the Quran. Three things to keep in mind with this story. First, the Quran's main argument for its divine inspiration is what I call the argument from literary excellence. The Quran challenges unbelievers to produce something like the Quran. For instance, here's the challenge in Surah 2, verse 23. And if you are in doubt as to that which we have revealed to our servant, then produce a chapter like it, and call on your witnesses besides Allah, if you are truthful. That's the challenge. Produce a chapter like it. But if you write a chapter like it, Muslims have you arrested and threaten to chop your head off. So, if you want to prove that our religion is false, produce a chapter like a chapter of the Quran. By the way, if you do, you're dead. What an amazing religion. Second, this has been going on for 14 centuries. When Muhammad was delivering his revelations in Mecca, a man named Al-Nadr ibn al-Harith would follow him around. Muhammad would recite his latest verses, and Al-Nadr would stand up and recite some verses of his own, and then ask the listeners In what way are Muhammad's verses better than mine? Some of the Quran verses where unbelievers keep making fun of Muhammad's revelations, saying, "These are nothing but tales of the ancients," were a response to Al-Nadir. Al-Nadir was captured after the Battle of Badr. Most of the prisoners were held for ransom, but not Al-Nadir. He was killed. 14 centuries later, Muslims are still calling for the deaths of people who can imitate the Quran. Third, women are not exempt from the death penalty here. When Muhammad took Mecca, he gave his followers a list of people who were to be killed even if they were found hiding beneath the curtains of the Kaaba. Let's read about 3 of them in Ibn Ishaq, pages 550 to 551. Another was Abdullah ibn Qatl of Banu Taym ibn Ghalib. He had become a Muslim, and the apostle sent him to collect the poor tax in company with one of the Ansar. He had with him a freed slave who served him. He was a Muslim. When they halted, he ordered the latter to kill a goat for him and prepare some food, and went to sleep. When he woke up, the man had done nothing, so he attacked and killed him and apostatized. He had 2 singing girls, Fartana and her friend, who used to sing satirical songs about the apostle, so he ordered that they should be killed with him. Think about this. Abdullah killed someone and apostatized, so Muhammad ordered his followers to kill him. They found him clinging to the curtains of the Kaaba, and they ripped open his belly. But Muhammad also issued a death sentence for the 2 singing girls, and all they did was sing satirical songs about him. Why are Muslims today saying that a young woman should be put to death for sharing a surah that imitates the style of the Quran? They're just following the example of their prophet. Why? Because the Quran orders them to follow the example of their prophet. Islam is the religion of perpetual tantrums, thrown in defense of a book of religious gibberish and a prophet of multiple psychological disorders. Coronavirus, meet coronavirus.
Surprised that it came to them from China far away. So the infidels said it was a stubborn disease. No, rather it is certain, very, very certain death. There is no difference today between the kings and slaves. So hold on to science and abandon traditions. And don't go out to buy weed and stay home. It is a strong scourge. Wash your hands with blue soap. Almighty Jalil has provided this truth. So don't kill him or anyone named Amna.